Alright, let me make sure that this is in focus. Okay, right, so we're good. We are good. Alright, this is what we're looking at. We got another chicken. This is a another corn-fed free-range chicken. This is tends to be the chicken that I buy. Alright, so what I've done is I'm basically trimming it up, yeah? So I haven't washed it yet, I'm literally trimming it up, so I cut off the visible fat that I can see. I'm also gonna strip the skin off of a lot of this chicken, right? But what I do is, I've got a bowl here with some lime. So I've got a bowl with some water, I left it in the sink, right? And I put some lime juice in there, right? Half a lime. Okay, so we're going to clean the chicken after I remove some of the sort of stuff that you can see in the center here. So I'm literally just going to go ahead and remove. You can, if you push your finger like that, you see that it pops out. Right? Now this is the actual kidneys of the chicken. Yeah? So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to remove that. Now what I'm making is actually curry chicken. Right? But first we've got to obviously clean up any sort of fat and stuff like that, and I'm gonna quarter it. So I'm gonna show you exactly how I quarter my chicken. So I've cut it in half so I can get the little bits out of the chicken, right? So these two places here, all the little bits in there, the kidneys and stuff like that, that's all gone. Right, so I'll turn the chicken over. Okay, now we're gonna get the breast and the wing part. So basically trim the chicken up and cut it up into quarters. So I'll turn the chicken over and I'll go through it. Wait a second here. It would help if I use a bigger knife. Just go ahead and just go through it, just like that. There you go. Alright, so that's one, okay? Now I'll take, you can follow the knife right there, right? So this is gonna separate the thigh and the breast. So I'm literally just gonna do this. That separates the thigh, okay, and the breast. So basically just go up and through. This can go into the bowl of our water. This right here, this is basically the breast and the wing. So what I normally do also is just go right through it. Then I use my hands to basically force the bone. Alright, so let's just go around, take some more like that. Just see the joint, we're trying to get to the joint here. Right. So get to the joint, just easier to basically, that's one wing and joint off, okay? You notice how yellow this chicken is? I mean, if you just look at that, really yellow, right? Okay, what else we need to do? Now we can go ahead and we can remove the skin. So, I can basically just take the skin completely off. Right? So that goes there. Now I'm gonna throw it outside in the bin. Now I can go ahead and I can cut this out. So get the knife right through it. That goes in there. Right down. Cut this in half. goes in the bone. These are the size that I want. Goes there. This bit that has a lot of the bones, I keep all of this. Just split that in half. That goes into our bowl as well. Do the same with this, okay? So go ahead and I follow the line that separates the chicken, thigh and leg from the wing. Just go right through it. We can go here, we can cut, release it from there, and we can release this. Right, that goes into our bowl. And the same thing with this, we go around the wing, down to the joint, simply just releasing it, a little bit of brute force, that just snaps it off right there. So that's the wing. Then we can basically take the skin off of this, so we can see exactly what we're doing. We don't need the skin. So we can just remove this. All of this goes. We'll just use our knife, cut through this. Skin goes, we throw that away, we don't need it. Got a little bit more skin here. That all goes. We're just left with beautiful, beautiful chicken. So just go ahead, put that in our water. Actually want that goes in there. And we basically just go down, just get bits of chicken. That goes in the bowl. This, we basically just there you go. So this all basically can throw that away. And that's it. Alright guys, so we're back. Now we got our chicken, right? So I'm just gonna put that to one side. Let me zoom this out real quick. Alright, so you guys can see everything. So we got our chicken. The basis, the foundation to every seasoning, salt. And we've got ourselves some black pepper, right? Now I buy the black pepper seeds and I actually ground this up myself and I put it in an airtight container. Right, so that's just how I do my stuff. And we've got the chicken right there. Now this is the fresh seasoning. So we've got 1.5 onions. We've got 2 habaneros. I like my chicken hot. We got some thyme right there, so I'm gonna go ahead and just drop the thyme in. I've already washed my chicken. You guys saw it in the last clip when I washed it, soaked it in lime, washed it, cleaned it, right? Took the skin off. The only part that I didn't take the skin off is the actual wings, because it's a little bit hard to strip, but that's the only bit that I've left with the skin on, all right? Once it's cooked, you could always take the skin off. So let me just make sure I get all my thyme in it. I love the flavor of thyme. Then I've got me half of a garlic, yeah? So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 cloves of garlic right there. So I'm gonna chop that up also. I've got me a little bit of ginger. Now, normally this is Jamaican style curry. I make my Jamaican style with a little bit different, okay? Normally you don't really get ginger in a Jamaican curry, all right? And I've also got me some sweet peppers. normally you don't get sweet peppers in there either. They would normally add some carrots, just balance out the carrots, give it a little bit of sweetness, plus it gives it a little bit of body. Now I may add carrots, but I'm not adding that at the moment. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to peel the ginger. Alright, so let me just go ahead and peel that right now. Alright, so cool, let's get our dry seasonings in there. So a couple of pinches of salt. This is just to season the chicken, right? And we're going to leave this soaking for about 3 to 4 hours, right? So I've got about a tablespoon of salt, right? I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pinch out about a teaspoon or teaspoon and a half of black pepper. Okay, that goes in there. Alright, now we're going to go for the curry. Alright, so going in with some whole pimento seeds. Alright, so I'm just going to go ahead and sprinkle probably about, let me see, probably a bit more actually, probably that amount. I'm just going to leave that on the side because I'm going to fry that in with a little bit of olive oil just before I add the chicken. Right, so we've got probably about, let me see, got about 9 pimento seeds there for the amount of chicken that I've got. Right, this is Jamaican curry powder. Now you can see this is very yellow because it's got a lot of it's got the curry obviously, and it's got a lot of the name will come up in the video. I've completely forgot what what the spice is. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to add this to our chicken. Right. I'm going to add quite a lot of this because one thing about this curry, it's got a beautiful flavour. You need to get the Jamaican curry powder, right? I think it's called Beta, or Chief is one also that you can use, right? So that's our dry seasoning, so that's enough of that. Now we're going in with the ginger, so I'm just going to slice this up. That's the ginger in. Let's go with the garlic. Just slice these up also. So that's the garlic in. Now we're getting the onions in. Right, so we're just going through again and we're just finely slicing this as fine as possible. Right? Right, so that's the onions in. Now the peppers, I'm gonna basically just peppers is going in there. Chop this up as well. Now normally I freeze my peppers. Right, so with this one I'm not going to put the seeds in. So I've added a seed to one and to the other I'm not. The seed is where majority of the heat is. So as I always as I advise people all the time, if you can't handle the heat, don't add the seeds in your seasoning, right? Put it out. Okay, so this is what we got. All right, that's all your seasoning. Now we're gonna slice up 2 of these. Yeah, we're gonna slice up 2 of these. Once we're gonna put it into the pan, but this is just basically just the seasoning that we're going to leave to soak into the chicken. Now you need to get your hands in there. Nothing greater than actually having your hands in there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these pimento seeds. Actually, I'll leave the pimento seeds in there. Right. And we can pick those pimento seeds out, fry them off in the oil, in a little bit of oil, right, a little bit of olive oil. Just going to fry that off in the actual little bit of olive oil. That releases the oils from the pimento. Okay, and then we're going to add the rest of the seasoning, you see. Okay, right, so we're seasoning up this chicken, getting our hands in there. Right. making sure it's all coated and it's all good. So that's basically it. Alright, that's what your hands look. That's what your hands look like when you finish. Right, that is it. Okay, so now we're gonna cover this up and we're gonna leave this for about 3-4 hours. Alright, so we're gonna leave this now for 3 to 4 hours. Okay? Okay, so that's been browning up for about 15 minutes. So what we're going to do is go ahead and add the water. Now you notice I haven't added any onions to this. I mean, I haven't added any tomatoes, because tomatoes doesn't go in to this here curry, alright? So literally this is just all the seasonings that I put in there. Now we're gonna turn the fire down to around about gas mark 2. We're gonna cover it. We're gonna leave that to slow cook for about hour and a half. Come back every maybe half an hour to make sure that the water's got enough water. If you need to, you add more water, because what you're doing, you're making the chicken have enough gravy, because we're going to go ahead and we're going to prepare some rice once this is done. Alright, so I'll see you guys in about half an hour. See you soon. Okay, so just looking at this again and just giving it a stir. Seem to have enough liquid in there, so we're just making sure that all the sweet peppers are properly submerged. Chicken's looking good. Everything's coming on nicely. Alright, so that's been about half an hour. Yeah. And it's looking good. Right. It's looking very good. So that's it. Just come back and check it, and I'll be back in the next half an hour again. Okay, so just looking at this now, this is probably about an hour and 15 minutes in. The wing is almost completely cooked through, and this chicken, to be quite honest, the chicken is perfectly done, right? So now is the time to turn the fire off, basically. Right? Doesn't need any water. I didn't have to add any water in there, but if you turn the fire off, yeah, it would basically thicken. So this is what we got. So now we're making a rice, right? So I've got me 1 tomato, half of the red pepper there, and now this doesn't normally go into rice, but I'm basically I like to put some vegetables in my rice, right? So I'm actually going to season up my rice, okay, with some seasoning, and we're going to add some vegetables in there. This is salt. This is about 1.5 tablespoons of grated, this is actually grated dry coconut, right? And I'm gonna add a little bit of that same Jamaican curry powder in the rice. So what I've done is, any rice you can use, but I've gone ahead and this is the only rice that I use, right? So it's whole grain brown rice, all right? So we've got the chicken. The chicken's off. That's just seasoning nice in the pot over there. That's gonna create some body as it cools down and chills out, and that chicken's gonna absorb a lot of the seasoning. So we're gonna go ahead and make the rice now. All right. So I've washed this rice about 3-4 times. Make sure that all the white sort of starch gets taken away. Now we're gonna prepare the vegetables. So I'm gonna thinly chop these, yeah, and these little baby what are they called? Corn, Yeah, I'm gonna chop these up as well. With these things, I'm not necessarily gonna chop them. I'm just gonna throw them into the pot, just like that. They're very thin and they're very soft. Yeah, so I'm not. I don't need to chop these at all. So this is just a seasoned vegetable kind of rice, really. You know, making sure you get your balanced diet, right? Your vegetables, your rice. Yeah, and. Okay guys, so what I've done is I've basically chopped up all the vegetables. Sorry, my phone rang, so it basically cut the video. So I've gone ahead, chopped up the little baby corn. We've got the half a red sweet pepper, and we've got 1 tomato right there. And I've left these soaking in the water. We're gonna add everything to the rice, but I'm gonna season the rice first. So I'm gonna basically we're gonna add probably about 2 pinches of salt to this rice, not a lot of rice, and we're gonna add that. Right, so that is done. Right, we're gonna add just a little bit of this curry powder in there. That goes in, that's looking good. That's fine. Now, I'm basically just mixing this through. Right, that's of salt, a little bit of curry powder in this rice here. Alright, now we're going to add our vegetables. So, get this beside here. So I'm going in with the tomatoes, some of the corn, get the corn in there as well. Get all into the rice. Yeah. Now again, you know, adding vegetables is optional, right? But I personally like to have a balanced kind of diet going on. So let me just get rid of this. Okay, so I've added the bean sprouts or water snap beans, I think they're called, not 100% sure, but again, you can put anything. You could put spinach in there, do you know what I mean? You could put spinach, you could put a bit of kale. Normally I make spinach and kale, but let me just turn that off. Okay, you could put spinach, you could put kale. Normally I make spinach and kale, but you know, this is what I've got. You can mix up your type of vegetables you put in with your rice, alright? So I've got the fire hot and I've got it starting to boil. I'm just going to add probably a little bit more water in there. Right. Now that is boiling, basically we're just going to cover the pot. Right. So now that it's come to a boil, we'll cover the pot, turn the fire down. Right. I'm going to leave it on a low heat for, you need to come back and check it every 10 minutes until the rice is soft, all right, and those vegetables have cooked in. And you know what, that's going to be a beautiful coconut vegetable rice with our beautiful curry chicken. Healthy, all right, as healthy as it can be while you're eating meat. And you know what, you guys need to taste this. Okay, so I've tested the rice, right? It's all nice, fluffy, it's separated. All the water's been absorbed into the rice. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna dish this out with the curry chicken that has just been sitting and absorbing in that lovely gravy, all right? And I'll be back. Okay, so this right here is the finished product. As you can see, the rice is there, all right, and we've got the bean sprouts, I think they are. We've got the red peppers. Our corn is somewhere in there. I think, yeah, our corn is hiding in there, but you know, it's all there, right? That's our chicken. Okay, that's our gravy. And what I normally do is I have me one of these Indian rotis. Now that's too much. I'm probably gonna cut that in half. But that right there is a dish that you won't forget. All right, so just for presentation again, there you go. So I'm trying to work on presentation, guys, all right? I'm all about flavor, but I'm trying to learn to present the food also, okay? Take a picture. That's the one right there. Catch you guys in the next one.